All right. Um, Greetings, everyone. My name is Gauthami. So, this today let's talk about 4 agreements in life. It is a wisdom. 4 agreements in the sense, the wisdom from 4 agreements. So, what are those agreements? See, our life is full of agreements, isn't it? It's not just one agreement, full of agreements. And we suffer with those agreements, isn't it? We don't know what is the right agreement and what is not. We just, our life keep moving on based on the agreements. So everything you do in life is based on the agreements. Agreement with ourselves, with other people, with the society, and also with the God, isn't it? We have some agreements with the God. Okay, I have this wish. Please do it so that I can offer certain things, isn't it? So it became a part of our life, agreement, for everything agreement. So, so right now we talk about one important agreement. Okay. So the first agreement is be impeccable with your word. See, what is so important? The word called word. So we talk so many words, right? Every time, all the time, we speak so many words. In one sentence, so many words. So to make a sentence, we use a number of words. Like that, we keep talking, we keep speaking continuously, minutes together, sometimes hours together. How many words we are generating? But these guys are saying impeccable words only to use. How is that possible? Because we have to speak a lot of things, right? All the time. We have to generate so many thoughts and with so many words. We have to make long sentences and speak enormously. So, why that word is so important to speak impeccably? See, basically, the agreements based on the words. So, one single agreement is not such a problem. But we have many agreements that make us suffer and fail in life. So, therefore, why so the agreements that come from fear, for example, that require us to expend a lot of energy. So our words are energies. So that is why the wisdom is to use words which are only important to speak. Because each word is the energy, it generates energy. That energy manifests. It can manifest either next minute, it can manifest either after 2 days, or it can manifest even for the next life too. So that's the problem with the words, the energies that you generate. And moreover, when you generate an energy without knowing, you will make a bonding with it. Do you believe this? So that means you have no freedom. Once you generate some energy, you are the first one get bonded to that. So you are losing your freedom too. If you want to live a life of joy, you have to find courage to break such agreements that limit you. Once you break agreements that limit you, the next minute what you do, you choose new agreements. So as long as you are bonded to one agreement, you cannot make a new agreement. Once you break that old agreement, then you choose a new agreement to make. So then you choose love to make a new agreement. That means you have to choose a new agreement based on love. The reason is love gains you more energy, lot of energy. If you make any agreement based on fear, what happens? You will lose your energy. It will expend a lot of energy. You should never ever spend energies on fear, on failures, on sufferings, because that will rip you off. That will rip off all your energies. So we have to make agreements, words based on love that gains a lot of energies to us. So actually this is how this is a actually this is a culture. Basically, you know what I am saying is, once upon a time, it was a major culture how to live a life. It's a culture. It's a Mexican culture. So they were saying that this kind of wisdom as a Toltec wisdom. So those people were called as the Toltecs. So those are indigenous people from New Mexico. So these itself, like, you know, this, they understood. Those people, see, though they are ancient people, how intelligent they are, how much they are connected with the nature. That we have to understand here. So they know what is nature. The nature of nature they understood very well. So the love is the characteristic of nature, because it gives you everything. Even you don't ask why it is doing like that, because it has love for you. It's nourishing you because of love. So that they have understood. So love is the only ingredient keeps everyone united. So that made them, that they made it as a culture. So the wisdom became a culture in those days. So those were called as the Toltecs. That's why this wisdom is called Toltec wisdom. So the first agreement is the most important one, also the most difficult. That is, be impeccable with your word. It looks simple, but it is very, very powerful too. Because the word, the speech, the word is the gift that comes directly from God. So through that word, you manifest your intent, regardless of what language you speak. Doesn't matter, whatever the language you speak, Telugu, Hindi, Malayalam, or English, or some Dutch, anything you speak. They're all they're all made up of all languages made up of universal letters. Universal letters. So in ancient days, all these Saptarshis and yogis, they have seen with their divya drishti, like, you know, with their third eye, all these letters. So they found these letters coming into their brain in the cosmic energies. So whatever the languages we are speaking, making the words, using them to make words, these are all gifts that come directly from God, directly from cosmos. We are calling that energy as God. Some people call it as God. Now we are calling it as energy, life energy. Or, when you go to some other place, they call some other way. Pyramid energy, number of names. But still, it's coming from the top, isn't it? It's a gift of God. So, we call as a Saraswati, right? We call the education or the words that we are speaking call as Saraswati too, isn't it? So it is all coming from God. And it is coming from your intent. The word you are making, that is manifesting your intent. So what you dream, what you feel, and what you really are will all be manifested through the words. So now you understand what the importance of word and why it is powerful. Because it is powerful, it's a force, right? It's a force to communicate, to think, and thereby to create the events in your life. As I said just before, it creates, it makes your future. It creates your future, not only in this current life, even for the future life too, when after you reborn. So that much powerful your word is. It's like a sword with two edges, sharp edges. It can create the most beautiful dream, or your word can destroy everything that you have around you. So, one edge of the sword is the misuse of the word, which creates a living hell. There is no hell somewhere. There is no heaven somewhere. Okay, there is a heaven, there is a Ramba, Urvashi, Menaka there, and they entertain you because when you make lot of good things. So when you don't do all those things, and if you do bad things, you will get into hell. So it is just to create a concept. If you do a good things, you will be good, and you will have your life will be heaven. If you do bad things, your life will not be heaven. It's like a hell. Just to tell that concept, they made such kind of some of the characters, Indra and all that stuff. So basically, the thing is, it's all in your world. Either you can make it or you can break it. So the other edge is the impeccability of the word. So which will only create beauty, love, and heaven on the earth. So the sword which has the two sharp edges, if you go this side, you can create a beautiful heaven on the earth. If you turn this side, you can create a living hell. So now, why this word? How these words are coming from us? Because of your thoughts. So thought is the precursor for your word. The human mind is like a fertile ground where seeds are continually being planted, right? We generate thoughts. How many thoughts we generate? So those are all seeds. So continuously you generate seeds being planted. So the seeds are your opinions, your ideas, and your concepts. See? So based on all those opinions, ideas, concepts, your thoughts, these are your thoughts. The word is, these are all making words. So that means the word is a pure magic that you plant a seed. See, that's what it is. The word is a pure magic that you plant a seed. Seed is a thought and it grows. So that means you can create. You are the creator. You are a magician. You are a creator. That means you are the God. So God, what he does, what is the function of God? He just sit down somewhere and he keeps creating, right? So we always say that a God is a creator. But here you are creating. That means you are God. You are a magician. You can make a lot of magics. So that is why, since we have the capability of creation, creating anything, either hell or heaven, we need to be very careful when we speak and when we make thoughts. So it will make not only to you, either hell or heaven. Unfortunately, you can make a hell to others also by the words. So, because we are all generated from the same energies. So, our thoughts and our words very, very carefully need to be used. I'm still working on it. So, every human being is a magician. But we don't understand this. We just thoughtlessly cast spells on each other all the time with our opinions, judgments, and all that stuff. See, for example, there is a child. The child is beautiful. Any child, whether the child is a dark complexion or fair complexion, the children always so cute, isn't it? But how your word makes the child. See, even the child looks beautiful. When we say you are ugly, the child listens and starts believing it. See how it works, the word, how the word works on other person's belief system. So our words doesn't affect only ourselves, it affects the entire the world. So though the child listen, though the child looks beautiful, since you are keep on saying you're ugly, she starts believing the same. And she will grow up with the same idea. How doesn't matter how beautiful she is. She will be in that agreement. She will in that agreement that she looks ugly. She will believe that she is ugly. She will be under that spell. See the power of the word. So these types of spells is very, very difficult to break. So because whenever we hear something, opinion, either generated by us or generated by somebody, the brain will start believing it. It will bond. I mean, we bond ourselves with that agreement. And it becomes a part of our belief system. So it is very difficult, whether there is a truth or not, whether there is a truth or there is no truth. So the word it can bend you like anything. So that is why impeccable word is very, very important. So now, what is impeccability means? Impeccability means without a sin. So we all know that, our all religions, not only our Hinduism, every religion talks about the sin and sinners. And we consider certain actions are sins. We know all those things, right? So, but understand one thing. What is real sin? So the real sin is a sin, anything that you do which goes against yourself. It can be a judgment about others or judgment yourself too. Or it can be a blame. Either you blame others or you blame yourself. Or rejection. You reject others' love, or whether you reject yourself without any self-love. So if there is no self-love, if you don't love your soul, that's also a sin. Because it suffers. Your soul will suffer. Is it not a sin? It is a sin. So why this is happening? Self-rejection is the biggest sin that we commit. For everything, first we punish ourselves. If something happens, you stop eating. If something happens, that's it. You stop something doing which is important in your life. If something happens, you don't do meditation. You know, if you meditate, you provide food to your soul. But you don't do but you do not meditate. Because you got angry. That means you rejected yourself. Self-rejection. That is the sin. The biggest sins we commit is rejecting ourselves. No love for ourselves. Judgments, blaming ourselves. Sometimes somebody's words will make you blame yourself because they blame you and it works on you. Just like what I said, the beautiful child was called as ugly child. So word is a powerful, word is a force that forces you to blame yourself. So these are all the sins. So we have to be intelligent enough to understand these things very well. So we need to take responsibility of our actions. We should not, no judgment, no blaming, and no rejecting ourselves. So being impeccable with our words means using your energy in the direction of reality, truth, and love for yourself. So that is the most important thing. And the second agreement is don't take anything personally. Very simple agreements. So this is once upon a time, this is all a culture. So they understood very well. They understood the nature very well. And they living according to that. See, with using impeccable words and not taking anything personally. So taking anything not taking anything personally or taking personally. If you are taking personally, what is the meaning? You are not at soul level. You are at a body level. Everything you are taking personal and suffering yourself. That suffering will be there only at a body level, at a physical level. So you are not uplifting yourself to the yourself to the soul level. At a soul level, you do not suffer. There is no suffering at soul level. When you are at soul level, then you do not take anything personally. When you are below that, then you will take every damn thing personally and you will start suffering yourself and you will start to suffer everybody around you, in the home and outside, in the office, or in the movie theater, in the parking lot, and everywhere. So that is the second agreement we need to understand. The personal importance or taking things personally is the maximum expression of selfishness, because we make the assumptions that everything is about me, I, mine. So when you don't realize I am not the body, I am not even mind, I am a soul. When you don't realize this, or when you don't believe it, that's why I always request you guys to include this in your meditation, because this should establish at soul level. So then you get freedom from your physical level. So as long as we are at me level, I level, or mind level, the personal importance grow more and more, more and more. You think you are very important. You are the only one important in the entire universe. It takes you to that level, which is not true. That's the biggest problem. Then what happened? People will become so selfish to the maximum. Maximum in the sense, there is no Adi Anta. And so many of assumptions about yourself. I'm this, I'm that. No one can beat me up. So much of a personal importance. So that is why the second agreement was told that do not take anything personally. That means indirectly, what is he saying is uplift yourself to the soul level. Don't stay at the bottom. Just uplift, up, up. So this happens only by meditation and experiencing the meditations and gaining the knowledge out of it. So there is a saying in Bhagavad Gita also, Jnana Agni Dagda Karmanam. See, here if you give so much of importance personally, what happens is your karma, your buddhi, karma anusare buddhi. Your buddhi means your mental ability. Depends on this. Mental component will be there in every karma that you do. Mental component will be there in every karma. When you give so much of importance to yourself, your karmas also, the doings also depends on them, depends on the personal level. So that is why not taking anything personally is very, very important. So this happens only when you uplift yourself to the soul level. So now it is 10:13. So we will stop here for today. And again, the next session, next Tuesday, we will talk about elaborately about this second agreement, and then third agreement and fourth agreement, so on. Okay. All right. So do you guys have any questions up to this? And again, I'm announcing again, please connect, all of you, please connect tomorrow midday session. And you are going to, our master is coming to share knowledge. Please do not miss it out.
Yeah, thank you so much, Gauthami.
Yeah.
Very much needed that topic you mentioned.
Sure.
Very, very relevant to me.
Yeah, it's relevant to everybody, and even I'm also still working on it. Because it's very difficult, to make words and to generate right thoughts and to make right words. But we need to do this to gain and to save our energies and to gain more energies. Yeah, everyone should work on it. Anything else? Anybody else? If not, we can wrap it up. Madhuri Garu, do you have anything to talk?